let me check if the stream works. I hope it works. Okay, now it should work. And we should be live right now. Welcome back to the OPLA Banquet stream. The guests already waiting. This is one after a few months. I had something to do, but nonetheless, we're back and we will be back big with guests. So yeah, I'm really happy and hype in the chat for our guests that we will introduce now. I see some new names in here, so let's go back to the stream. So now everybody should hear you.
Oh,
Awesome.
Woo!
beautiful.
So let's begin with an introduction round, of course, and hello, Chris, of course. Let's begin from the top. Den and Kushi, nice to have you here.
Hello.
What is the channel? Where can we see your stuff?
Okay, cool. So basically, I guess you can call me a One Piece theorist. It's Denden Kushi. You can find me at Denden Kushi on YouTube and elsewhere. Also, I'm with a couple of the other guys from TLA, which stands for The Last Arc. We talk about everything there is, if it's spicy, and yeah, just super excited to be here with some people that I don't usually stream as much with. If my background noise goes absolutely crazy, do let me know. I can mute up whenever. And thank you for having us, Desnes.
Yeah, for sure.
And hello to your viewers. And yeah, let's absolutely cook this one. Like, I'm so down.
Amazing. Okay, next up in the list we have Kev. Back in black.
Hey, yo, what is good, everyone? Appreciate the opportunity to talk about One Piece once again with a bunch of great creators, of course, and hopefully everyone is aware of the greatness that is to come in season 2. But we'll be as spoiler free as possible for all the new watchers as well.
Nice, thanks, Kev. Then we have Ricky.
Hey everyone, I'm a One Piece merch junkie, to put it frank, and I talk about stuff on YouTube, and I'm really excited for season 2.
Amazing. Then we have Sun God himself.
How everybody doing? What's up, y'all? I go by Ja Makes Nerdies or Sun God. On my YouTube channel, I talk about everything nerdy, So if you're a nerd, you're definitely gonna enjoy this one. And thank you for having me.
Perfect. Then we have Noah from Pork Chop Rice and Peaches.
Hey, thanks for having me out here today. My dad and I talk everything movies, TV, and video games on our channel. He regrets not being able to be here today, but he really wanted to. He had work. Yeah, really excited to be here.
Perfect. Then we have Cody. I hope.
What is up, YouTube? It's the Special Great Sorcerer of the Last Arc, here to spit more live action spice here with Desnes. Thank you for having us on, brother. It's always a joy, and let's get to it.
Awesome. Let me just check if I can add Kuzuland because he can't join. Now it should work for him. If he hears that, try the link again. Okay, then we have Lucas himself.
Hello, YouTube people. I am Straw Hat Lucas, helmsman of The Last Arc. You can find me on The Last Arc YouTube channel, where we cook some spicy streams. And you can check my chapter reviews out there with the News Coup chapter review. We got one coming out for 1101 soon. You can also find me on TikTok at straw_hat_Lucas. I'm almost at 3K now, and at that moment, I'm going to do a bikini stream. I don't know why I agreed to that, but I did. And I want to just shout out Desnes again for having us all on here and to congratulate him on 48,000 subscribers. You're coming up fast on 50K, my man.
Yeah.
It is just amazing.
It's so unreal. Definitely no bikini stream. Nobody wants to see that, but yeah, I should definitely do something weird. Yeah. Oh,
it's gonna be great.
And lastly, of course, our little celebrity Chris here.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Pirate Hunter Chris. I talk everything anime and manga over on my YouTube, and then I'm a professional trash talker over on my TikTok, and I watched the trailer for 10 hours, and yes, I still watch the trailer to this day. It's a great trailer. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, perfect. Also, Chris is the one of us that stood very close to Oda. So, because he was at the same event with him, but didn't know. Yeah. So, let's begin
That is
right
so
into the
wild.
first
That is
thing.
wild.
Yeah, definitely wild. The first thing, of course, is spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. So, for everybody who didn't read One Piece yet, into the Alabasta arc, we are trying to avoid spoilers, but there will be a slip up for sure. So be sure that we can spoil you something just to be sure. And of course, we try to keep it spoiler free. And with the pirate codex, especially, we made up some codex that we all try to hold on, so everybody don't get spoiled essentially. So yeah, with the whole live action new watches in and stuff. Okay. And there is someone joining, I guess. Rejoin. Kuzorando! Haha! Perfect! Kuzoland, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, for sure. What do I say about myself? I'm a wannabe YouTuber, I guess. I recently uploaded my first ever YouTube video and made the foolish mistake of making it an hour and a half long. So yeah, that was fun. Hashtag your piece. I'm fairly new to the One Piece community in general, so I've been really happy that everyone's been super welcoming. But yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, definitely check
Very
out
good.
his video. It's amazing fitting video for the Christmas time. So it's a 1.5 hour long theory video, but it fits for Christmas and it's perfect for One
Yeah,
Piece fans
very
at that time.
topical.
Very topical, very great. So check that out. Yeah, I think we're full. I expected one more to join, but maybe she will join afterwards. Let's see. So yeah, spoiler talk. Everybody knows that already. So let's head right in to our story and character discussion. So I want to go through each arc by barely saying anything. Just go into the nitty gritty. What could be changed? What will most likely to be changed, which characters could be transformed or changed or taken more role or less screen time. And let's begin with Loguetown, because Loguetown was missed out in the last season because of time reasons. They got from 10 episodes to 8 episodes, and so they cut down the Loguetown arc. Um, Sadly for me, because that was my favorite part of the story from the East Blue, but it will be on season 2, and that was confirmed already. So, Loguetown. So we got Smoker already, right? We are so many people today. I don't think we can go through all of you. So if you want to say something about an arc, just type anything in the chat of the Discord. And Lucas, you just scream in with your phone. But so I can have like an order of people that want to say something. Okay, so just type like an X or something in the chat of Discord. That would be fine. So I can go
Okay,
you
let me just
through
put it up.
all of you who wants to say something about the topic. Okay. Um. Uh. Yeah. Loguetown. Smoker. Yeah. I think personally, Smoke and Tashigi would make a great decision to expand more on in the second season, because they will appear in the beginning with the new structure of season 2, beginning with Loguetown, and we will see them in the end. So it would make sense if they take a role. Oh, Lucas made an X. So they if they made a role like Garb and Kobe and Helmeppo essentially. So yeah, what are your thoughts about Schmöker and the other things in Loguetown? Lucas.
Um, I think Logtown will sadly only be one episode. I think it'll be the Shellstown arc of this season. Like we only got one episode with it, but I agree. I think that Smoker and Tashigi will take on a bigger role in the season than we saw in the anime and manga. I think that they will probably do a kind of pseudo Garp thing where, but instead of pursuing the Straw Hats, maybe they are doing some work inside of the Marines. But we definitely have to think because they're going to do a B plot like they did with Garp in the first season, and I think speculating about that and how that's going to go is definitely um, how do I want to word that? It's definitely the direction to go. I don't know if they'll take up the entire B plot of the season, but I think that they will take up a bit of it. And I think Merch Hunter wanted to say something after me.
For me, my main thing that I want is like Smoker's reason, you know. In the anime they give it a really good like, you know, he gets a lot of exposition, and like Kev just said in the chat, having them be the Kobe and Helmeppo of this season, that's just a really, really good idea. Like really good idea there, Kev.
Yeah. Ricky suggested that we just go through all of us, but in short of terms, so keep that short in mind when we talk. But yeah, let's go through all of them. Then, what are your Loguetown thoughts, especially Smoker?
It's like, considering the time like situation, I'm just gonna say one thing. Has everybody seen the whole like Twitter thing with the dragon actor?
What
Yes.
exactly do you mean, or which dragon actor it is?
Yeah. So the dude who was playing Dragon he's done his scenes and stuff like that, but he wasn't included in season one. So
Yeah.
like having that whole Logtown like situation not being there and stuff like that. Like as like let's just considering I'm more of the theorist, let me just say this. It is interesting that like they didn't include that, considering how fundamental it is to some of the nuances to some of the more important characters that we
Yeah.
don't find out until later, don't find more about until later in the story. So I'm more interested in seeing how they overcome that. So that's my
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna mute up, so
I really think we had the leaked script in the beginning that was essentially beginning with Smoker seeing the execution of Roger as a child, and they said they filmed way more than they showed in the show, especially with the Loguetown scene in the beginning. So I think we will get the first episode of the second season like feeling like the first episode of the first season, like a whole many people also everybody gets reminded of which people are in play, like Buggy and the other pirates and the Straw Hats and these enemies and the Marines and such. With the whole Loguetown thing, I think that makes a great wrap up for the last season essentially, and we could start with Smoker flashback and then end in the end with Smoker as well. Kev.
I just saw something really interesting in the chat, actually.
Hmm.
I apologize, Miklos. I hope that's how I pronounced your name. They just said in the chat, Dragon's actor was in the crowd of Coco Village. Is that actually like a confirmed thing?
Oh,
Yeah, he was
really
one of the background actors at the party at the end.
Wow, that's actually really interesting.
If you go to his Instagram, you can actually see him in full costume as Dragon. To back up on what Dindin said. Here, I'll see if I can find it for us.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah,
pretty
would be
cool.
awesome.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Can you
It's
post
actually
that?
really,
Would be
really
cool.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll post it in the chat.
Perfect.
But I did want to bring up something about the Smoker stuff. With Smoker being a lot more involved in the actual narrative, that the original story. I think his B plot with Tashigi will be like I said, more satisfying just as a whole, because we know that they have more of a presence in the actual story in comparison to Kobe and Helmeppo, which a lot of the writers had to like integrate them more into the plot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that the B plot's going to be, hopefully, their B plot will be pretty compelling, because they're actually cool characters. So if we see more of the good Marine angle, I think it'll make the world feel even more gray, because it's like, oh, these guys try to go after Luffy because Luffy did all this stuff, and it's like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah. Also, when you said that, reminded me of season 1 of the live action. During the season 1 of live action, Garb, Kobe, and Buggy got very highlighted in the manga. So it would make sense to during season 2 when Smoker gets highlighted that he would come back, maybe? Question mark. As a prominent thing. Sun God. Loguetown.
Loguetown. Okay, so in my personal opinion, I just need to see Dragon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to see Dragon front and center. I need him to have screen time, and I need it to be more interwoven than it was in the manga, because I feel like the whole point of a real life adaptation is to give extra context and add more scenes to what we already know as the manga fans. You know what I'm saying? So without going into the details of it too much, I really really want them to just hint more towards why Dragon is so important, so prevalent in the story because he really is one of the most relevant characters in One Piece lore. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
really just want to see him take front center. I want to see him and Luffy interact in some way, even if it's you know still along the lines of what occurs in the manga. I just want to see a little bit more from Dragon, and that's all I really need from Loguetown. I'm good on everything else. As long as they do Ace right and Dragon right, cool.
Noah.
Oh man, there's a lot going on. The so much on this dragon train we're talking about. Kind of continuing off where Mugiwara was talking. The um, if because we know Oda is so heavily involved in the show, this might actually be an opportunity to more clearly learn more about Dragon. Like we know so little
Yeah.
about him despite him being so important and there's so many theories revolving around him. The live action might be able to clear up some speculation surrounding him. So there's an interesting opportunity they have here. I think that was where I was going to get with that.
Totally.
Definitely.
Cody.
For Lockdown, I think, like Lucas said, it'll be one episode, and sadly, unlike I wanted, I think all of the filler stuff, like Daddy Masterson and Sanji's cooking episode, is gonna get cut, and it's just gonna be like a more clear, concise plot line.
I think it depends on how many episodes we get. If they end for the season 1 with 10 episodes and they will get 10 episodes for season 2, maybe they can drag out more stuff. And Oda said that was one thing that he wanted to add in the manga. But if we get 12 episodes, that's more than doable. If we only get 8, I think, yeah, it will be cut for sure. Chris. Loguetown. Chris, are you here? Wake up. Shake up.
Get some ASMR for your One Piece streams.
I think he's asleep. Let's get to Kuzolando.
Sure thing. I'm actually really excited for a couple of scenes. Namely the scene in the shop with Zoro, where he's testing his luck, I should say. And I'm also really excited for the delivery of the execution stand scene. I think that would be really hype as well. Just the delivery of Inyaki and how he kind of delivers that would be really fire to see. And just from a VFX point of view, I'm very curious about Smoker's VFX, how that's
Yes.
going to play out, because that will be the first of that kind of ability that we're going to see. So hopefully they'll do a great job of it. I mean, based on the previous season, season 1, the VFX was actually pretty spot on, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, I think it's going to be awesome.
I imagine something from the VFX team just smoking with his cigarette in front of a green screen and adding it in or something like that.
Yeah, they make a really good point there, though, dude, because one of the...
Oh, Din, your background noise, brother.
Oh yeah. Sorry. My bad. Thank you.
Good, bro.
He's channeling the dragon in him.
Yeah.
You're funny. You're hilarious for saying that.
But yeah, no, what I really do like about the effects on the show so far is all the practical effects.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they're going to keep that up.
Yeah.
Because that's totally my favorite part of it. But
For
yeah, that's me.
Can I
Chris?
add a small thing really quick? Oh, sorry.
Sure.
I just want Smoker to have more than one cigar in his mouth.
Yeah.
At least 2. Like, just give me 2. 3 is a little much, but just give me 2.
Headset died. Oh no. Chris' headset died. So
no.
rip headset. If you want to join with your phone, maybe try that. But we can
Also,
get back to you on Loguetown if you want to.
just one thing. Rip, Marth, who's also not here today.
Love you, Marth.
All right, I found my charger. We're good.
Yay!
Yay! Okay.
Okay, I think
Then-
I'm set as well. Sweet.
So,
Normal background then.
so the next part of the story would be River/Reverse Mountain. I'm very hyped for this one because it already shows the craziness of the Grand Line essentially, with a bigger scale in that case, and with a wacky environment. And yeah, it gets us hints for the future seasons and stuff. They could put so much in there that wasn't there, in my opinion, especially with Crocus. And yeah, I mean, Pinocchio already did it with things in the whale, so they
Yeah,
could totally
that's
nail it.
such a good point.
Yeah,
Such a good point, practically.
and yeah, I think that's totally doable and will be even better maybe than in the anime. What does Cody think about this?
What will be better than what in the anime?
I think that they could put way more details for the future in the Reverse Mountain arc than was actually in the Reverse Mountain arc in the anime and manga.
I don't know, man, because like, how are they gonna handle Laboon?
I think they could handle Laboon great. We saw many whales in cinema already, thanks to Pinocchio and stuff.
I think they have to have him as well, right?
Yeah,
Oh, they did. They're gonna be fine because look at the Lord of the Coast. You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, if they did,
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Uh,
Lucas, go on.
I think with Reverse Mountain, it'll be. I hate to say it, but I think it'll be probably the arc that they cut down the most. Because it is only like 2 chapters in the manga, 1 or 2 episodes in the anime, or something like that. Maybe a little bit more. So I think it'll be the one they cut down the most. Obviously, it has the important character of Crocus, so but so we have to get to that. And
Oh, you're
and
good.
there's some-
Names aren't spoilers.
Okay, yeah, and then there's some other introductions there that we're going to see. It's going to be the introduction of Baroque Works Foley. So it'll set up that.
Yeah.
And I think that, if I'm honest, I think that Reverse Mountain will be cut down enough that it will kind of interplay into, because there's going to be way more arcs this season than there was in the first season, and I think it'll be kind of mashed together with Whiskey Peak. Like, first maybe half hour of the episode will be Reverse Mountain, and then that second half hour would be Whiskey Peak, or something of that effect.
Yeah.
Depending on how many episodes we get, though. If we get 10, it'll get its own episode, and Whiskey Peak will get its own episode.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But also
I'd
for
honestly,
Brooke
agree with
reasons,
what
I
you
think.
said,
Yeah, Chris is back. Woo!
because I'd agree with what you said, because if it's only like 2 chapters in the manga, which is only about 20 minutes of source material to be adapted, so they
Yeah.
could probably fit that and something else into one episode and not have to cut a lot of content for that arc.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm saying maybe merge it together with Whiskey Peak into one episode.
Yeah, I think that would work great. If they tried to stretch it out to an hour, they'd have to add some new content to stretch it out that long.
I
an
think-
hour episode.
I think there is an angle. Like, if like, this is difficult to talk about without spoilers, but considering what comes after,
Yeah.
and somebody mentioned the introduction of certain agents around that time as well, right?
Yeah.
And Desnes mentioned a certain Pinocchio situation. So, like, in that Pinocchio situation, you could take a bit more time introducing one particular agent. A female one. I think you all know who I'm talking about. But also just the introduction to the organization as a whole. And, like, you could have, well, I can't list it because it would be a spoiler, but the intro could be the mountain itself. The middle could be the whale, or lagoon, I should say. And then the bit after that could be like just some like juxtaposition to other scenes, like other places in the world where certain villains are starting to cook up certain plans that we know are going to be coming very shortly. So I think, I mean, it's one of probably the highlights of the whole thing for me personally, is seeing like this difference between anime and manga, and like how they've merged it into like an hour episode and stuff. So it'd be really cool to see how they
Yeah.
do it. Either way.
Also, it's one of the longest callbacks in the manga, I guess, with the whole crew member storyline. So they could add so much more in there. Also, I really want this amazing scene where where Crocus says if somebody could die, and then Sanji asks, "Oh yeah, who would that be? Me." I love that scene so much. I want this 1-2-1 in there. Kusorando.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about Reverse Mountain, the set design itself, because I think some theorists out there probably think that, Reverse Mountain is quite an important sort of
Hey.
location, right? Yeah. And so I'm gonna be pausing a lot of frames and just looking at all the details, making sure that there's no Easter eggs that I'm missing.
Hmm?
So yeah, that's gonna be super hype. I'm really looking forward to the drawing that's going to be on a certain character.
Hmm.
Uh, the one that kind of gets slept on. I think that'll be really cute if they do that. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much me.
Yeah. Kev.
So, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of think they might cut Whiskey Peak. I
Yeah.
think if any arc is cut,
Ooh.
that one that gets cut because Little Garden is integral to many main characters' plot lines, and the only thing that necessarily happens in Whiskey Peak that matters is the ending reveal thing.
Yeah.
If you could just put that into Little Garden, you don't need the arc at all. Because the only reason they're going to have the arc realistically is so McKenyu can have an awesome fight scene. That's the only reason they need that arc. Like realistically.
And
'Cause
they
you could
could
have
that.
everything in that
Yeah.
arc
They
or
could do
something
that
else.
in any
Can
other
I
place as
ask
well.
you?
Yeah.
They could do that in Alabasta,
Yeah.
which is going to be
Can I
awesome.
ask,
Like,
ask
you
you
know
a
what I mean?
question? If you were the director, or like you were some sort of showrunner and you were involved in
Mhm.
Netflix, what, like, the scenery of Whiskey Peak, like
Mhm.
the very distinct scenery and what it turns out to be and stuff like that. Would you think that they want to include that? Because I've not really thought about it, but in my opinion, you're completely right. Like you could skip the whole thing, but that bit of scenery is something that I can imagine a showrunner would be like you include that you said about the fight scene. That is something that I can imagine a showrunner's like, yeah, let's put it in there. It'll look cool.
And
Oh, definitely. I could see that for sure.
uh, I know Kusalin wants to go on this. But if they cut Whiskey Peak, though, you lose the fight between Luffy and Zoro, which they could use to add tension to the season, at least early on.
But
And
it's
then
not a
you,
tense fight. That's
yeah,
the issue.
I know, but I'm saying you could make it a tense fight. And Igarum also, would you put him
Put
in
him in Little Garden.
Little Garden?
Okay,
Or
now
I
we're
was
in
gonna
Little
say,
Garden. Now we are in Little Garden. One after that, we're still in Reverse Mountain. Sorry, Kev.
well,
And
that's what I was gonna say.
I want to hear Noah's thing first. Sorry.
Mm.
About
on
Reverse
what?
Mountain.
Oh,
Reverse
on
Mountain.
Reverse Mountain. Really about Reverse Mountain. I think it's going to be one episode. I think they'll find a way to expand it a little bit more, knowing how they've paced season one. I don't know how they would expand it a little bit more. Maybe a little more time with some of the characters introduced around Crocus.
Yeah.
But the one thing I really want to see is how they do Laboon, because they've already built things that big practically for the show. Baratier being the example. So I'm
Oh,
really
do you
excited to
think-
see the behind the scenes of how they do that.
Do you
That's
think
gonna
they
be
fill
really
a
cool.
pool with the insides of the whale? Oh, that would be awesome!
That-
Like a little
right?
Kame house there. Oh my god.
I really want to see how that works because they totally could.
Yeah, totally. Ricky.
I did. Oh, could I bring something up really,
Yeah,
really
sure.
quick? I do think they'll have to change Reverse Mountain because there's no way in an American-made TV show they're gonna have humans like beating up whales, which is like a huge no in America. So that's getting changed. That is absolutely getting changed.
Okay, maybe he just
Good
I
point.
don't know. He mocks.
I
him
Like
do-
or
they'll get the
something.
sad backstory, but they're not gonna like
Yeah.
beat up the whale. Like,
Yeah, I do think though that Luffy will brand Laboon still. But what I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say is, I think you're right. If they do cut any arc, it should be Whiskey
Well.
Peak, and they could bring Egoram, like Mister 8, and I can't remember who his partner is now. Oh my goodness, I feel like a fool. But they could bring them in with Miss Wednesday and oh my gosh, why am I struggling so hard right now? Mr. 9?
I think it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know who you mean.
Yeah.
I guess we can use their names, right? Because they're not really their names.
Yeah, names.
Like, we can use their code
Desnes said
names.
names aren't spoilers, right?
Yeah.
Names and design.
Names.
Well, their
Okay,
code names,
okay.
yeah, should be good.
Maybe
Yeah.
not full names of certain characters though.
Yeah.
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 Sun God, what do you think of reverse slash Rivers Mountain?
I think it's definitely the opportunity for us to see that budget get put to work. And one thing I do have to commend the Netflix version of One Piece for doing so far is their CGI. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, it's genuine, man. So I'm really excited to see all these different creatures that we're gonna see in the ocean, the Grand Line, the vastness of the islands. I think like one of the really underrated aspects of the series is just the set design and how much effort goes into it. You know, I remember watching one of the trailers for the Sanji portion of the first season, and them explaining how they built the set, and it's just beautiful. It's awe-inspiring, and there's more money going into it than literally Game of Thrones. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see the set design for that arc specifically.
Hmm.
So, Ricky.
I think game. Oh, sorry.
No problem. Ricky.
Did you say my name? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's literally only one scene I care about for Reverse Mountain and Whiskey Peak, and it's just like when Crocus sees the Straw Hats for the first time, that
Yes.
elongated. You know what I mean?
So
It's like my only theory. I'm not gonna name the theory. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you guys, but that scene is extremely important.
Merch Hunter, I thought you were talking about Crocus's introduction, like when he first interacts with Zoro, and that's why I started laughing.
That's what I thought as well. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's all good. I'm gonna put it in the chat really quick.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's what went through my mind first.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, now we're into Whiskey Peak, and I think we all agree right now that it could be cut down. But as a scenery, it would be cool to show off what the Grand Line can do. Yes, Dan,
Absolutely.
on the Whiskey Peak topic, maybe.
Yeah, just closing off the last topic and bringing it into this one, I guess. Like, I think I was going to talk about earlier. It's interesting because, like, we just mentioned Game of Thrones, right? Game of Thrones is HBO, and HBO made a pilot, and the pilot failed, and HBO's got big like clout under their name, whereas Netflix doesn't. So Netflix doesn't have the opportunities to make the pilots that like Game of Thrones does. So season one you could argue kind of acts as a bit of a pilot. So to see stuff like Reverse Mountain Laboon, Whiskey Peak, if they were to do Whiskey Peak, I would be so gassed to see that, because I think like it was cool what they did in the first season, like real cool. But this season, I think with all the money that they can like really throw down, I think it would be so cool. Like it would be massive. Like
Yeah.
but I can't say too much about the actual scenery itself but that's such cool scenery and very juxtaposed to what the sort of jolly theme of One Piece, you know. So yeah, I hope they do include that little bit of scenery.
Yeah.
That'd be so sick.
I think second season is we have big mountains in the Grand Line arc, because we have Drum Island, we have Whiskey Peak, and we have Rivers Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kev, something about Whiskey Peak again?
Yeah, like I said, that I feel as though Zoro's fights are obviously incredible in the show. So if they do have the arc, it's just an excuse for a Zoro fight, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like nothing wrong with that. But I feel like if they're trying to really make Alabasta and Drum Island like big deal things, which I feel like they definitely should focus on rather than the earlier half. Especially with the scenery as well, which I think is obviously going to look like really, really good. I'm just, a bit not worried. I just feel as though if there is anything they could do to enhance those later arcs, it would be to focus on, these places in priority to Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, Reverse Mountain. Like these arcs are cool. Don't get me wrong, but like the arcs with like substance and emotional weight, I think they should definitely get more, gravity to them. But I could easily see Whiskey Peak staying around, and then like we were saying, maybe Smoker Tashigi head there after does his thing, something like that. That's
Yeah.
a easy way to show that they're following the Straw Hats path as well.
Yeah.
I
Sandra.
definitely
Yeah.
agree with that. I
Yes.
think I agree with the idea that there's going to be something happening with these early arcs, whether a lot of them are condensed just into each other in a single episode, or some of them are cut all together. Because if they want to put stuff like Alabasta and have Chopper like on screen a lot this season, and a lot of other stuff that happens in Alabasta, and uh, I forgot the name of Chopper's arc. But if they want to have all that stuff there,
Drum
they're
Island.
gonna need to
Yeah.
cut a lot of the stuff with say like Laboon and everything because it's going to cost a lot of money. And at the end of the day, I think a lot of stuff is going to get cut, and I think Whiskey Peak might be one of those, just because it'll be a lot of these things are going to be super CGI heavy. Especially we all gotta unless they do a puppet for Chopper, Chopper's going to be disgustingly CGI heavy and expensive to do on like a shot by shot basis. Where I wouldn't be surprised if they cut a lot of stuff to either keep Chopper in, or they cut down a lot of Chopper to keep other stuff in.
So I think we will, in the case of Chopper, we can talk about it later when we came to Drum Island. But I think they will do Chopper justice, as I'm sure of it, because now Randy Troy is in there as well, and he talked so much about Chopper in his live streams before he was casted in for the show, and he essentially agreed with us that if they would do him, they should do a really good CGI like Rocket Raccoon and such, and nothing else would make sense for Chopper in that case.
To add to that, Randy has a stream with Matt Owens, and I
Yeah.
swear there's a moment in the stream where you can see Matt Owens deciding to bring Randy on mentally. Like you can see him do it because Randy Troy calls him out for the Mr. Seven scene, and then again he calls him out for like Crescent Beard whatever
Yeah,
versus
yeah.
Full Body, and like in that moment Matt just stares into the screen really hard, and then he's like, "What were we talking about?"
It was at this moment he knew. Noah, Whiskey Peak.
Okay, this might be the controversial take. I could see, and this might bleed into the next section a little bit, but I could see a lot of Little Garden being thrown into Whiskey Peak instead. Specifically, some of the characters that we see at Whiskey Peak. I could see Whiskey Peak being like a little filler, like a few minutes, because there's a lot of important things that happen on Whiskey Peak. But for them to keep everything condensed and still get major plot points across, I could see characters like Mr. 3 show up in Whiskey Peak instead of Little Garden. That might be a little bit controversial, but I thought I'd throw that out there.
They get some Zoro over Usopp agenda right there. I think that's a
Yes,
Zoro
sir.
fan talking. As an Usopp
No,
fan, I think Little Garden is more.
That's what I was saying. Little Garden is very important for Usopp. That's why I was like, I don't think they cut that entirely, but I think they have that moment for Usopp. Whereas, if they want to introduce Mr. 3 early, if they want to, they might just leave him for later arcs.
In season 1, they didn't really get a chance to explore Usopp's character because of when he was introduced and how much they had to squeeze into it. So I don't see them cutting Little Garden for that exact reason, because they want to give Jacob more screen time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't suggesting that. I was suggesting they might focus more on, they might move the aspects of Mr. 3 from Little Garden to Whiskey Peak, and then they might just spend Little Garden as a more character driven, less action, more character driven.
Yeah, because they fight
section.
They fight against agents in Whiskey Peak, and then after again in Little Garden. So there can be some cuts in there as well. Yes. Rickety Rick.
Are we still talking Whiskey Peak?
Yes.
For me, I kind of agree with Kev. I'm kind of hoping they shorten it, if not just cut it and just like maybe reference it. I see the merit in showing it for sure, but I'm like a huge Little Garden fan. Like that's really all. Yeah, Little Garden is one of my favorite arcs. It has one of my favorite like dumb moments, and just overall, it that's when you start to realize like the weird ass scale of the One Piece world, and it just kind of like opens. It's gonna really attract people, especially if they have like if they have the one-to-one representation of Little Garden in there.
Yeah. Sun God. Little Garden.
Yeah. Um, I just really want to see the Giants, man. Like, I know I keep like raving about the CGI and everything, but I don't know. I'm just really excited to see how it translates to the big screen. So I want to see the Giants throw hands in Little Garden. Is that also the arc with the little dude in the treasure chest, or am I wrong about that?
Ah, no,
Yeah.
the little dude in the treasure chest was in the East Blue, and they already skipped that, so that he won't.
Yeah, they
Ah,
reduced
that's
his
Yeah,
ass to a painting.
Yeah,
oh,
Guy
that's
man
but
got spit out
tragic.
but
that
he
one.
got a
So
painting
Yeah,
in
tragic.
Ibaraki
it's messed
essentially.
up.
Yes.
It's blasphemy.
That's
Like,
so tragic. But they
Little
can't
dude.
they
yeah,
can't skip the Giants, man. We have to learn about Elbaf at least a little in the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
Especially with how Oda writes.
Sorry, I said Little God, but I meant essentially Whiskey Peak because I didn't talk with Cody and Kuzo about whiskey yet. But yeah, whiskey
Am
and
I
Little Garden. That's yeah.
I got you. Yeah, on Whiskey Peak, I think that that's fine for them to skip a lot because I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a lot of it is expositiony. I do think that we still need to meet like, I don't want to say names, but we still need to meet all the different agents. So I think that there's a way for them to still include them in,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that they have to like condense it. I don't want it to be as long as it felt in the anime.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
not saying that it was bad in any way, but I think that one episode with Whiskey Peak is probably like the max that they can really use to cover everything reasonably.
Yeah. Yeah, we already know from season 1 that they essentially take the manga and the pace of the manga, not much the pace of the anime. So I think Whiskey Peak will be as short as in the manga, essentially, and they keep it very low. Kusorando.
Oh yeah. What I'm quite curious about, I don't know if we'll get it in Whiskey Peak, but you know how we almost kind of Django in the previous season?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, we have this ability in the One Piece world that's mostly around the devil fruits. And so what I'm curious about is, are we gonna see people like, Vivi's mm, that person's
No, that's
secondary
okay.
tower?
Say Vivi.
yeah,
Vivi is
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Or even Miss Golden Week?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if they're going to sort of explore that aspect of the abilities as well. So that would be pretty exciting. Um, I think we do kind of need a whiskey peak as well. Not, I don't think it needs to be long at all, but in terms of the flow of the narrative, like if we're going from Logtown, which is quite exciting, then we're going to Reverse Mountain, where there's only like a few characters.
Hmm.
And then if we go straight to Little Garden from there, then I feel like we don't get that sort of wow factor into the pirate world, because the way they sort of welcome the pirates in those scenes, it's quite, I feel like,
Now,
important for the energy level.
wait. Now that you said that, it triggered something in me. You know that one story in Pinocchio where he goes to a town and everybody was celebrating for him, and then in the end they just steal his stuff and such. That's essentially Whiskey Peak right after. Oh my god, why I never recognized this. Right after Reverse Mountain. What the fuck? Sorry for interrupting, but yeah. Oh
No,
man.
no, no, that's pretty much all I had. But yeah, no, you make a good point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would still like to see Whiskey Peak or an aspect of it, like how Noah kind of mentioned, it could be sort of blended into Little Garden. I don't know how they'll execute that well, but I'm still hoping that we get some sort of an equivalent of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me.
Cody.
Whiskey Peak. If I
Yes.
think anything is gonna happen in there, I think it just needs to be Zoro's like really flexing of fighting 100 people and winning. That would be really cool, and it would really like satisfy a lot of people who said there wasn't like a lot of like bombastic fight scenes in the live action. So that's what I would see them doing with Whiskey Peak, if anything at all.
I think Mark Henry
Yeah,
was
they gotta
interviewed.
lock in on fight scenes.
Yeah, I think Mark Henry was interviewed and asked if he has more fighting scenes, and he said something like much more fighting scenes. So yeah, totally be. Let's go into Little Garden, of course. Maybe you want to say something right from the start, Cody?
About Little Garden?
Little Garden.
I'm curious to see how certain things will be handled in proportion to the actors because of how the island is sized. I'm just really wondering how set design and pieces will work, and then obviously the two characters Dory and Bragi, like, are they going to be giants like kaiju Godzilla size, or are we just going to make them like just kind of bigger people? I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it.
Yeah.
Let's go kaiju.
Yeah, I think they must be at least twice as big as normal characters to count as giants, I guess. But
At least.
but
Love
we
if
seen
it's like kaiju sized like people like compared to Luffy and the gang, and it's just like their foot makes them look like ants. Like that's how the
Yeah.
giants
I'm ready.
were.
I need that.
But we saw giants from the beginning from cinema, so it's very doable with practical effects to do giants. So yeah, maybe write it to Noah. Maybe you know more of this giant stuff in cinema.
I kind of made my my predictions on this because I blended it with Whiskey Peak. But no, to expound on it, the Little Garden would be very interesting as like a, because you get who said that it was, you have Logtown, which can be kind of hectic. You have Reverse Mountain, which is kind of world building. The flow is like hectic. And then Little Garden, the beginning of Little Garden is very peaceful, and it has a lot of character moments. And I think adapting Little Garden, giving it more of a character driven focus, because you've got great character interactions overall in Little Garden. I think if they took less time to focus on the action in Little Garden and more time to focus on the inner personal connections between the crew, that would be a great use of Little Garden for the live action.
Yeah,
So that's all I got for that.
like Zoro screaming like Tarzan or something like that was really amazing. Kuzorando.
Oh, Little Garden.
Little Garden.
I definitely want to see some practical effects for the giants. Maybe even playing with some frame rates so that they kind of have it a bit more slow kind of feeling. Yeah, and definitely playing with different camera angles because we definitely missed out on the crew playing around with scale. With Arlong, I think that was a little bit disappointing for some people. And like the world of One Piece, there is a lot of different races with different sizes, so I want them to start playing with them a lot more. And I would love to, the island itself will be really exciting to see with the remains of the animals as well. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it for
Basically Jurassic Park, but a few centuries later. Lucas.
Yeah. So Whiskey Peak, Little Garden is actually my favorite arc in the entire Alabasta saga. So I'm really, really wanting them to nail it. I think, I believe it was Mersh Hunter who said focusing on character moments for it is probably the right move. Especially with Usopp, Dory, and Brogy. I don't think they'll cut out the Broke Works agents. Maybe they'll move Mr. 3 somewhere else. I could see that, but Mr. 7 and I can't remember her name, but I remember her Devil Fruit. I'm not going to ruin it, but
Miss All no, it wasn't Miss All Sunday.
No, it's not Miss All Sunday. No, that's it. I keep. Is it no?
Golden Week.
Miss Valentine's Day, right?
Golden Week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. I
No,
think.
not Golden Week.
no,
No.
no,
It's
not,
it's
not Golden Week.
Valentine's Day, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is Miss Valentine's Day. Like, I think they'll still appear because you need that tension with that one scene. Not going to spoil anything. But yeah, I really, really hope that it's character heavy moments for Usopp, and I really want to see the competition between Zoro and Sanji play out in the live action as well to help set up that feud that goes on for the entire series. Because we got teased it in the season 1 with the moment after Arlong Park. Definitely want to see more of that.
Kev, Little Garden. Okay, I think
I
Kev
just got back, so
Yeah,
the
yeah,
timing
sorry.
was perfect. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So, Little Garden not only is a Usopp arc, and Usopp's one of my favorite characters in the whole series, but it also is the introduction of one of the greatest characters in the whole series, Mr. Two. So this needs to be like not too long, but like, it's got to have those moments of just like the sort of awe of the One Piece world where you see like stuff like giants, obviously, because that's the whole theme of the location, and seeing this type of stuff. While I do think that the slower character focus, I love that. I think that should happen. You still have that blend of like, look, it's they're in this completely unbelievable location compared to everything they did in the first season, and then they're just talking. I like that kind of dichotomy that they have going on there.
Yeah. Den.
Big giants would be nice. Not too kaiju because we're gonna. How do I say that without spoiling it? We'll see them later on, which would make it kind of weird if they were absolutely massive. And also, I think it might be no, I'm not sure, but whoever mentioned the frame rate, genius. Like, because they got like big beards and like big attacks. Like, I think that's a nice touch. But that's about it, really. That's all I've got to say. I just want like, I think it's quite a simple little mini arc, and they could do that in one nice clean episode. That's it.
Ricky.
And what I said earlier about how it kind of just introduces the sheer craziness of the One Piece world, I need one that looks as close to Lenny Kravitz as possible for Mr. Seven.
Yeah.
That is like my one demand.
And I think we can all agree we should need some Mr. Prince in there, of course. Chris.
One thing I just like to point out real quick is I feel like strategically for the seasons, like season 1, everyone's really surprised and excited, and like I also went into it not really knowing what to expect, and then I was pleasantly surprised. But season 2, I think a lot of people are gonna have a watchful eye on it, so they kind of need to go all out to make sure that the hype is still there, and to sort of convince the crowd that, like, look, the first one wasn't just a fluke, and that season 2 is going to be epic. And so I think that's when we get proper fans, like real diehard fans, that'll stick through to the very end.
Yeah. Chris, are you there?
Yeah. I'm excited to see how they do the giants and some of the other stuff in this arc. I think whoever said the practical effects was spot on with that. I think they could do something like camera trickery, kind of like how they did with the Hobbits and Lord of the Rings. They could do something like that.
Yeah.
For the giants, but I definitely think they could fit this into like 1 or 2 episodes. I don't think it's going to be.
You
too
saying
long.
the hobbits aren't real?
I'm so sorry to break the news to you.
No, they're taking the
so
hobbits to
sorry.
Isengard.
I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah.
Hey, fun fact though, Hobbiton does exist.
Yeah.
It does, and I want to visit someday. That would be so cool to go to.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm from New Zealand, man. Don't ever say hobbits don't exist.
Well, they have that like tacky tourist attraction down on the South Island, don't they?
Yeah, I haven't been to
yeah.
it.
I think that's Bilbo's house you're referring to.
Yeah.
I don't think he lives there.
So, which leads us to Drum Island, and I
Let's
really want to
go.
focus on the point that a character named Ace will be introduced there, and maybe not even Smoke and Tashigi take the role of Garb from season one. Maybe it's just Ace, just more and more Ace for the season. His whole journey with the story beats that come later, essentially, could be added there. And also, we get more Blackbeard, maybe. That would be awesome. And I really want to wrap my head around how Warpole will look like, because that will be crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that. So, Lucas, let's hop right into Drum Island. What do you think?
So with Drum Island, the one casting for me at least that they have to nail,
Here
because I think we
go.
all know who Kureha is most likely going to be played by.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, it's like
It's confirmed essentially right now.
yeah,
Oh.
Jamie Lee Curtis
Yeah.
is,
Oh
but
yes.
her alert is who I need to be casted correctly.
Ooh.
Him and Dalton.
Yeah,
Dalton.
Dalton's fire.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
those two characters are the ones that you have to nail the most in Drum Island, obviously, besides our baby boy Chopper. Um, but I think the thing I'm most excited for with Drum Island is definitely Chopper and how they're going to play his backstory, especially after in season one, how well they nailed the majority of the Straw Hats backstories. Obviously, Usopp's was a little rushed because of how fast paced it was, but I mean, and I'm not gonna lie, I had some complaints with Nami's, but like Sanji's backstory was nailed, and I think if they give it the same amount of love and attention, then Chopper's backstory will also be amazing.
Yeah.
Breach.
Also, I think that's Drum Island is the first time we see wacky animals in One Piece, if I'm not wrong. Before even the kung fu dugongs, we see the big rabbit thingies in Drum Island.
Oh, La Pans.
Yeah, Lapans.
Yeah.
Yes. Sun God, what do you think of Drum Island, and maybe some
Man, you
Chopper
already know
points?
this is my number one hypest moment, man. You
Yeah.
gotta be right. Chopper, I know everybody's waiting for Chopper, but Chopper's my favorite Straw Hat. You feel me? Like, sincerely. Ace is my number one favorite character in the One Piece franchise, but specifically with the Straw Hats, I think I resonate most with him and his
Mhm.
backstory. So I want to see Doctor. I want to see Wapo, like you said. I really want to see how they're gonna do his devil fruit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
they can't. They have to make some type of evolution to how they translate it with CGI, but I still think it's gonna be really well done. So I'm excited for that. And ultimately, I want to see more about Blackbeard and Chopper's devil fruit, because without spoiling too much, I have a very intense theory that I'm super into about the reason why Blackbeard was at Drum Island, and I believe that we're gonna find out sometime soon that Chopper is way more than we
Mm.
originally thought. So I want to
Uh,
see if the live action plays into that.
Yeah, the next
Mhm.
human on the list, essentially. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Can I? You mind if I go
Just
after that?
logical.
Mind if I follow up?
Yeah.
Like my first ever video, like particularly one that like did kind of all right, is about a theory that I believe that you're talking about, and I was gonna say the same thing. Like, um, I would be fascinated to see if they lean into what you're talking about. Um, certain reasons why Blackbeard might have been at Drum, which we have literally no. Well, yeah, I was about to spoil some stuff, but anyway. But yeah, just to give the rest of my thoughts, I would like 2 episodes. I know that might be asking much, but like that's not enough at all anyway. Like, so I definitely want 2 episodes at least. Um, it's the first arc or the first instance in One Piece where you're getting everything, all the layers of the story. You're getting some big names, some spicy drops. You mentioned the whole reason why Blackbeard's there and stuff like that. Like that follows up into like late game and stuff. So, and also we have the absolute babe Kureha as well. So
Yeah.
I really
Hmm.
hope they give it some time and we get to see a load like the Lapans and everything. Like that's my take.
Also, we
Sorry
see
to
the
cut you off
Schloss
there. Yeah,
Neuschwanstein
yeah, that's
equivalent
good.
in One Piece. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Whoop.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Kev.
So I do really like the idea of the 2 episodes, but I don't think we're going to see any Blackbeard this season at all. I think if anything, he's the teaser they show at the end of the season. But I definitely think he's going to be an out of the blue like reveal. They'll mention him obviously because they mention him in the arc obviously, but I don't think we're going to see him at all. That's just me though. I cannot imagine them kind of wasting that reveal in the third season too soon. You know what I mean? So I think we're just gonna get the mention, and that's it.
Yeah, totally. Cody.
Drum Island's always such a weird arc for me because like there's so many great moments like Luffy climbing up the whole thing, carrying Nami and Sanji, having to save those giant bunnies. But like when I think about the live action and what they could cut down, I don't want any of it to get cut down, to be honest. I love the whole arc so much. Like take 3 episodes. I don't mind. It's whatever, you know? When does a man die? Like, don't let me
Yeah.
forget those episodes. I
Yeah.
want to see Dalton, and I want to see how they're going to handle zone fruits, especially though, and see how those powers are going to be either
Yes.
like special effects or if they're going to be like more costume and like a CGI.
So I can
don't know.
assure all of you, I took the pacing from the first season and counted it into episodes per chapters per episodes. And if we translate that to season 2, we will have 1.5 up to 2 episodes for Drum Island. So for sure we have more Drum Island than other stuff maybe. And if they're
Just
even
that shot
doing
when
10 episodes, that would be even more Drum Island Alabasta, I guess. Because that's the focus of the season, yes. Sorry, I interrupted someone.
Nah, it's cool. I was just gonna say, just like I'm hyped to see that shot where they're in the boat and Greyhaar like gets the poster. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be so sick. Like,
Chris?
I am so excited for Drum Island because Chopper's Canadian, I'm Canadian, so me and Chopper have that Canadian bond, which I'm excited to see in there. I'm excited to see who they cast as Chopper, and I'm also outside of the show itself. I'm curious to see where they're going to film the actual Drum Island itself. I'm hoping they film it up in Canada. So maybe I could go visit the set for that because
Do
I know
it.
they're filming Avatar in Canada because the whole snow stuff. But I'm really excited to see Drum Island. I think it's a really great arc, really great wholesome arc, and I'm hoping they don't cut too much out of it because it was one of those arcs where it was really starting to get me to love One Piece, but I didn't love it so much at this point that comes in an arc later on in season 2. But this is one of the arcs where I really started to get attached to the whole story.
Yeah. Just real quick, Lucas has to go off. So just quick shout out for Lucas as well. Lucas?
Yes, thank you so much for having me, brother. It means the world. I love doing these OPLA banquets. And before I go, I just have to say, get Katya from RuPaul's Drag Race to play Banquet. That's all I got to say. All right. I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful stream. Cody, Dindin, I will see you all later. And to everyone else, it's been wonderful meeting you. And if I've already met you, can't wait to see you guys again. Later, everybody.
Bye.
Later.
have a good evening, bro.
Right.
Okie dokie. Did you wanted to add something, Chris? Sorry.
No, that was all.
Okay. Kusurando.
Oh, I'm really excited about Rumble Ball.
Oh.
Yeah, like if they go either way, whether they go VFX or practical, like either way, I think it's going to be really exciting to see all the different shapes. Can I say that?
Sure.
Yeah, like the different shapes that Chopper's going to have is going to be really exciting for me. I would love to see that. And going back to what Chris said, I'm really excited about how they play around with the location. Obviously shooting on snow is just going to be awful.
Oh, it
But
sucks.
yeah, I can't imagine.
Oh no.
I mean, I think the actor for Warpole is going to be pretty good because he's meant to be really big, so maybe he'll have to have like quite a few layers anyway. So
Hmm.
maybe he's going to be nice and cozy. But yeah, no, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with Wapol it would be a kind of Kirby situation, so they just have to make him big to do all the wacky stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
We saw a little bit of that with Luffy in season 1, so yeah, doable. Maybe.
It'll be funny to see how they do that form that him and his henchmen do on the top of the drum.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
keep the pantomime up.
I would like to see Blackbeard kind of as a silhouette because Oda likes to do silhouettes a lot in the panels, so I would like to start seeing some silhouettes. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
And a fun way to sort of introduce characters early on.
Without deciding on a cast already, yes.
Exactly, exactly.
Rickety Rick.
One thing that I'm actually really excited for, and this might be spoilery, so I'm just gonna try and cut it. Essentially, how they arrive at Drum Island and the greeting they get.
Yeah.
I think that would be good because again, we're like in anyone that's seen season 1 that's never seen One Piece before. They're being accustomed to pirates being good guys like Luffy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Garp shows up at the end and whoops Luffy's ass, and it's like jarring to the first time watcher. Like, what is happening? And the greeting they get will show what people really think of pirates in the One Piece world. And again, that's like just with Little Garden, like the world building in season 2 is going to be phenomenal if they get it right.
Yeah.
This will get everyone thinking, and it'll get everyone being like, oh man, like, so Arlong wasn't wrong, but he was wrong the way he went about it. But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, totally. Cody and Noah. Sorry, Noah.
Actually, you just brought up a great point. With the beginning of the arc, which not spoiling, but that just not necessarily Drum Island, which is probably my second favorite Straw Hat backstory is in Drum Island. But so they better do it right. But the beginning of Drum Island, and actually what will probably be the theme of season 2, because all the stories that are in that are going to be covered in season 2 are really important character development stories for Luffy specifically. Because in season 1, there's growth, but there's not necessarily development. He grows as a character a little bit, but the stories in season 2 are where he's going to actually like change and adapt. And not getting into too much spoilers, he's going to grow up a little bit, and I'm really excited. And it's going to be really important because Drum Island is kind of where that starts. Is during that.
Hell yeah, man! You're kind of blowing my mind right now because I wanted to say it, but it's very very integral to like the ending of Drum Island, and I don't want to bring it up, but it's one of my all-time favorite scenes ever. Like,
100%.
it's so good.
It's so good. It's so good.
Also, that's the chance to see more of the jewel piece theory from Kuzo in there. Yeah, let's head into the big one here, Alabasta, with so many episodes. This would result in at least 2 episodes. When they have 10 episodes, maybe they do even 3 episodes for Alabasta. Let's see. Kev, Alabasta. Quick.
So this is the thing I assume we're all looking forward to the most in this entire season, because it's like the build up, the amount of things they could do with like fights, the amount of reveals we're gonna get. I think there's just a lot here to look forward to. I think it'll definitely be a 3 episode thing at least, and the first one will probably be the journey on the way to Alabarna. We get the stuff with the town with no water. We'll definitely get that. There's no way in the world that's getting cut. Further the motivation. We get some baggage, with the crew, which could be the dramatic tension for the season, before, the ending, obviously. Then we're gonna get some amazing stuff with Baroque works, of course. Multiple fantastic characters are gonna get their spotlight. So yeah, I'm just this is the thing I'm looking forward to the most. We're also gonna get a lot of characters from the beginning of the season returning, a lot of new characters. The world is gonna feel so much bigger than the world has before. So I'm excited to see how they land it. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Cody. Alabasta.
Alabasta is one of my favorite arcs. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with the fights and setups because with the way that it felt like East Blue was set up, it felt like a more condensed and what was more important to Oda and like the storyboard and like greater narrative. I'm wondering to see what gets cut and what doesn't get cut from that those fights. Like, is Smoker still gonna be like going all over the place? Is there gonna be like random mismatchups for no reason? I don't know, but I definitely don't know if I see them taking 2 or 3 episodes with it. I'd see like maybe 4. It's just such a huge arc that like I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was 3 or 4, but 2 at least. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, they should definitely take more of for Alabasta for sure. What many people underestimate, Alabasta is one of the key points for many people that really showed people that every arc, every whole sagas can be very diverse and different, and it's always getting better and better in the story and stuff, and the ending as well. So I really hope that Alabasta is the point of no return for many people with One Piece, even if they find the first season okay and never got into the manga, especially with the X on the hand scene in the ending. Um, yeah, I really think that we can see the growth of X tattoos by on people after the season drops. Um, Noah.
Okay, on the topic of fights, this is where I'm gonna let my passion just explode for a second.
Yeah.
Um the fights. The fights in Alabasta specifically, however many episodes we get, are going to make or break the action entirely.
Yeah.
Because so far, really the only powers we've really seen in live action in terms of devil fruit is pretty much been stretching and chop chop. And so we've only seen essentially paramecias, and then we've seen like the special abilities that other people have.
Yeah.
And so when you get characters like Ace and Smoker and Big Boy from the end of the season, it's going to make or break, and it can't just be static movements with CGI. They have to add a lot of fluidity and movement and energy into it. They're gonna have to have actors doing all the moves, like the passion that Maki Inu and Taz have in their fight scenes. We're gonna need out of every actor, no matter what their powers are. So it's going to be very, very interesting, and I'm really excited to see how those specific fights turn out and all that action turns out, because I mean that's what I love.
Yeah. Also, it's the first
know.
big fight scene for Nami as well, I guess. So that would
Oh,
be
yeah.
cool.
Weapons upgrade.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and oh sorry, Kev, you go.
I was gonna say, now that I'm thinking about it, it's not just that. Like when we think about the end of season 1, it was Arlong Park. A lot of those fights were sort of condensed into like blitzkrieg fights. The only one who got a real fight, not to be a hater, but I don't think Zoro and Sanji really got fights in the season 1 finale. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Didn't. No.
And Usopp did, and his fight I thought was cool. You know, it was pretty accurate. And Luffy,
Usopp
of course,
caught a
did.
body.
He did
It's-
catch a body.
I think they said they cut down Zoro's fight in Along Park.
Yeah,
So
and
they
they like
filmed
combined it
it,
with Sanji as well.
but cut it. Yeah.
So I think if they do, now that I'm actually thinking about it, they probably will do 4 episodes, and then the third will probably be all the Straw Hat fights. Like every single one will be the third episode because the first one's going to be getting there, and the second one's going to be the setup, and then the final two would be the payoff, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Because I feel like Luffy's fight will definitely get more focus.
That sounds accurate.
Can I add something really quick to the fights?
Ricky, yes.
This is gonna sound really weird, but my favorite fight in the entire series ever is Usopp and Choppers.
Yeah.
And I watched it as a little kid, and I was dumbfounded for some reason by it. And to this day, as an adult, just holding the physical manga and reading it still gets my heart pumping. And Usopp has one of the craziest lines ever, and I feel like he's never been as cool as that fight. Like he hasn't been that Usopp since for some reason. It just bothers me, and I really hope that fight gets a lot of shine.
Also, that fight really shows what One Piece is about. I mean, we have Pinocchio and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer fighting against a baseball player with a dog, Duckle Dog, and the Grinch itself, essentially. So.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, so it's a very wacky fight and very One Piece like. Yeah.
Sorry, there you go.
No, you're good, bro. You go.
I was curious about Lasso as well, and if they'll do a similar approach for Lasso in terms of like how they'll do Chopper. Because that's the first time we're seeing such a wacky sort of creature.
I would love if
Fair.
it's just a dog with a very, very cheap costume. I don't know.
I would love that
It's
actually.
a dog with like a bazooka strapped to it.
Oh man.
Oh man. Kuzo Lando.
Oh, I'm actually quite curious in terms of like props. In terms of the, how should I say this? The Rubik's Cube of the One Piece world. I don't know if you guys get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really curious as to how they sort of build that. I think it's gonna look really sick, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna give me goosebumps as soon as I see that shot. So
Yeah.
that's pretty
The
exciting.
theorists already checking each sign and stuff.
Yeah, I mean I'm gonna be curious about the symbols that they kind of put on there as well.
And also, if they put it in there, if they put it in the show, where do they put it afterwards? Because it would be a big spoiler staying around in some place. So I hope it gets to a museum someday.
that would
Something
be
like that. Yeah.
the OPLA museum.
Yeah. 10 years after the OPLA already did the time skip and stuff. Yeah.
Did we bring up Kung Fu Dugongs? Because I'm gonna need.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well that's the thing, right? So the VFX is gonna be pretty painful for the all the creatures. We get the giant crab, we get the camels. Camels are real, so I think that's fine. Fighting dugongs. I guess we even get the poopy goldfish that we don't really talk about.
Oh yeah.
In Idle Garden. Like I'll be curious about that. But yeah,
We
and
also
then
haven't talked about one of the most important characters,
Haru.
Exactly. It's not just Chopper.
Oh my
if you worry
god,
about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole gang.
The whole
gang.
season's about
whole
animals
squad.
suddenly,
The whole squad.
I mean, this is, we get like what? Outside of Chopper, we get like 3 Zoans. So there's a lot to
do.
go through.
Yeah.
Chell, what are their names? Chaka and Pell?
Yeah.
Pal, Chaka, and Miss Merry Christmas, yeah.
And Dalton.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Lasso.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Gee.
Jeez, Rick. Oh man. Chris. Alabasta.
I am so listen. Alabasta is one of the pinnacles of fiction, one of the greatest arcs. I am so excited to see this arc and how they do.
I think you get cut off in between.
Yeah, it's my Discord's acting up right now, but I'm so excited to see this arc get adapted into live action because it's one of my favorite arcs just of like any series in general, and my favorite arc of One Piece. So I'm really hoping that they do this arc justice. I'm hoping it gets a lot of episodes. My favorite scene in all of One Piece is the X scene towards the end of the arc. So
Hmm.
I'm really excited to see how they adapt that. I love Vivi. I love Koza. I love all these characters that are going to be in the arc, and the fight scenes are great in this arc. I could talk about Alabasta forever. I love Alabasta. I'm so excited to see this arc adapted into the show, and I hope they give it the proper amount of screen time and build up it deserves.
Yeah, for sure. Um, what's the have you any news about your role as in the live action that you wanted to do for Alabasta?
Uh, cooking.
Cooking.
Something might happen, something might not happen. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
So you wanted to play Corsa, is that right? Corsa was the name.
Yeah, Vivi's childhood friend.
But maybe after season 2 will be a season 3 as well. So just try it,
Oh, it's
Chris.
definitely gonna be season 3.
And yeah, we must get Noah into the live action as well as stuntman, of course. Or a pirate in the background, or everything.
I'm gunning
else.
for it, man. I'm going for it.
And yeah.
Yo, put me in a Kung Fu Dugong suit. I'll do it.
For fucking free.
Yeah, I'm literally 5'5".
I would-
I'm certain I can pull it off.
I would settle for Dugon. I would do that in a heartbeat.
I want to be a Lapan.
So
That's a long day at work, though, to be honest.
so this is my audition tape for Dugong in One Piece. Oh man.
I might actually do that.
Where you at? Let's do this. Let's do this.
Okay, guys.
Grant Line
Everybody.
Down had an Alabasta review, and I was the Kung Fu Dugon for it.
Everybody of
Oh,
us
that's
should
amazing.
do.
I'll check it out.
Everybody of us should do something like that to take a wacky character and make an audition tape for the live action out of it.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
probably
in East
inundated
Coast
in-
VA. Whoever said
I'm
that.
with it, bro.
Let's do it. I'll do it with you, man.
Yeah, let's pick a date and we drop it at the same time.
Oh my god. Honestly, I feel like if you know, like I obviously, you know, I think they should focus on like actors for the most part. But if any of us even got the opportunity to, like, I don't know, water boy or, you know, a camera operator or anything, I
Yeah.
feel like that would be like such a blessing. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
we all love the series. so
Yeah.
I feel like even having the opportunity to, like, you know, some of us in the community were able to talk to Matt Owens over the reveries over the years, you know,
Yeah.
and having that opportunity to, like, see, not just see that they're acknowledging the community, but, you know, like Randy, for example, he's working with them now, and Roger, he was able to go to the set and he was able to talk to a bunch of people. Like, this is that's what I really appreciate
Yeah.
about the show. It shows that not only are they trying to make One Piece as great as it can be, but it's using the people who already love One Piece to even heighten the material to new people. You know what I mean? I think that's just a really great thing that the staff has been doing.
Ooh, kind of like how they had Corey Kenshin in Five Nights at Freddy's. And like
Yeah.
how they're-
Yeah,
Matt
but we will
Pat.
talk about that later because it's on the agenda already. So, yeah, Sun God, Alabasta.
Yeah, I'm very hyped for Adaptation mainly because I feel like that's one of the very first arcs where we get to see the pinnacle of Luffy's attack potency and his strength. He does have strong opponents before that, but I feel like Crocodile is the pinnacle of that. So I'm very excited to see how the fight scenes play out with him. I'm also very excited to see how Crocodile's story is gonna go because I know we all know that really big crocodile theory. And I think that the live action is gonna confirm it. You know, I really
The
think that they're gonna
facts,
give us
that
extra
crocodile fact.
No,
I
no,
think-
not
I
that
think-
theory, no.
I think everybody in the fandom knows, even Oda, and so they put it in to just troll us. In my case,
And
No,
that's
no, I-
possible too. That's possible too.
It was 100% a troll.
Oda
I mean,
knows.
all I'm
Oda
saying,
knows.
all
I
I'm
can
saying
agree
is
to that.
Mr. 2 is one of Crocodile's highest ranking people. That's all I'm saying. All
I'm
I'm
90%
Yeah.
sure that
I mean, you're not wrong there.
Facts, bro. Facts.
See, like, I'm not for the full theory, but the basis
the
is true.
math
In my
ain't
mind, the
math,
basis
man.
is true. Like, it's unavoidable. You know.
Yeah, so I think that that's really what the main biggest prospects are for me. And as you said, Ace's part, like Ace is gonna be a big piece of that arc, and Ace is literally like the best thing in One Piece to me. So I'm very hyped for all that. I just really want to make sure they do the casting right.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're already aiming for a casting because Luffy Inaki is always chilling with this guy that seems to be the actor for Ace, but it isn't confirmed. But I don't want
Okay.
to say something that isn't confirmed yet. But check out Inaki's Instagram post. There is one guy that looks very Luffy-esque by being.
Blue Beetle.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
hold on.
He was also in Cobra Kai. He was the main character in Cobra Kai. I forgot his name, but is that who you're talking about?
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Damn.
They are chilling big.
It would make sense. Keep it in the Netflix family.
Yeah.
They
I'm
did
gonna-
have
I would
Hawk as
love
well
this,
visit the
okay?
set multiple times. Sorry.
Oh no, my bad. I was just saying, yeah, I would love that. Is it the same guy that played Blue Beetle? Because that's what I found on
Yes.
Inaki Godoy's page. Okay, then
Yeah.
that's fire.
Yo, the guy
Yes,
who played
that'd be
Blue Beetle
fire.
was fire.
Yeah.
That's
Is that,
fire.
and that's who you're saying Ace is gonna be?
Yeah.
I'm
most
assuming, yeah.
most likely.
Supposedly, yeah.
Yo, I'm down for that. He was great. He was
Yeah.
great. I'm down for
Yeah,
that.
that's fire.
Wait, his name is
I'm with that.
Solo?
No way, really? That's so hard, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so
his name
hard.
is Solo. Yeah.
That's so hard, yo. What?
Oh man.
Dude, even the
Fan of
Viz
football.
fans got someone to root
Right.
for now. That's crazy.
Roro no.
Zoro. So, I missed out then. Sorry.
I like it's probably maybe a little controversial compared to what other people said, but for all of what's coming up, this is one of the ones I've got the wide, always the one I got the widest berth for sure. There's so much that can go wrong. They're casting 2, if not 3, of the best waifus if you include Crocodile. So I think that I think there could be some difficulties. So I'm not like worried because I'm just so not expecting it to be perfect. The individual elements themselves are great. The main bit that like the big bad is great. Someone was talking about like the way they're going to film their fight. I think it'll be quite good because like sound elements probably quite easy in VF,
Yeah,
and
we saw that
also
already.
you've got like a lot of physical stuff which you can do with cinematography, probably better than Arlong, what we saw with Arlong. So that stuff doesn't bother me, but there's so many elements when you like think about the water and you think about the world government, the Marines, just the crypt, stuff like that. It just gets way complicated. So I have no idea what they're going to do with it, but they need to get All Sunday right, or else there is going to be some drama from not just me, probably half the populace of the world, but
Yep.
they need to get that right, or else there will be
They
a revolution.
take out
man,
their
seriously.
forks and go for it. Yes.
Yes,
I think the stakes are a lot higher than with Ben Beckman for sure.
Oh man, they absolutely murdered that actor. I felt so bad for him.
I felt terrible for him, yeah. It's not
They
his
threw
fault.
him out there. They'll probably cast him for Miss All Sunday as well. You know,
Maybe Miss
see how
Sunday is
that-
played by Chris Pratt.
No!
Oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Chris Pratt's busy playing Mario.
What do you mean? Chris Pratt is Roger. What do you mean? Like, he was Roger.
I found on that note with Roger, I found it so funny that the Roger actor in the live action looked so much like Roger's face. It's hilarious how much they look alike.
Oh, yeah.
So
Now
amazing.
that you mention it.
Oh man. But not in
I mean,
costume.
technically, he's the base. So,
Yeah.
like, no,
All
he's
about that bass. Yeah, in terms of time wise for the stream, let's head right into the year of adaptations. Oh my god, what was that for a year? And we're just heading into even more adaptations next year, but we had so much of it. We had the Mario movie. We got The Last of Us, which got which got the adaptation of the year in the Game Awards. Then we got the live action for One Piece. Then we got Five Nights at Freddy's. There are plenty more that I don't remind yet, but it's got Pilgrim, for example, as an anime.
So good.
Really great adaptations, and it really shows that the mindset for adaptation is changing, and that is a plus for the One Piece live action as well. I said it in my Mario movie video already. It really changes the mind of people going into it
definitely
fresh
part
and
of it.
and change
One Piece.
and yeah, don't expect a Dragon Ball Evolution, but expect something better than that. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hear like I don't know if it's true, but like more and more I'm hearing like a lot of money people are getting a bit frustrated that they missed the opportunity with One Piece, and I hear like there's a lot of quick rushes to make things into live action or get things licensed as soon
Yeah,
as
My
possible.
Hero and Naruto both just got movies announced.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
with
yeah,
Naruto, you
yeah, I
already
heard
see
about
the
that.
problems left and right. With
Yeah,
yeah,
but I mean, when there's money to be had, you never know. Like things
yeah,
can go
I
well.
mean,
Like
the My
like we're seeing it
Hero
with
stuff
King.
is gonna be wild too, because dude has like a Windex bottle for a head in My Hero, you know.
yeah.
I did want to bring up. There's also on the 14th, Netflix is dropping a Yu Yu Hakusho live
Oh
action show as
yes.
well. So that as well.
Yeah. The reason why I bring it up was because before we started streaming, we were talking about conventions, right? And like when you guys were talking, I was thinking like, because I knew we were obviously going to be doing the OPLA thing. I was thinking it's interesting. Like anime conventions have become very anime heavy, obviously, rather than the manga. If you go there, like you'll notice noticeable with like the type of cosplay everyone's wearing, right? It's usually the anime heavy stuff. Um, Now we might even see like a new type of con, like a live action con and stuff like that, and like adaptation con and all this stuff. So,
Yeah.
like either way, I just hope more stuff, money comes into it, and they do something good with it. But let's face it, at the end of the day, some of them are going to be bollocks. Like, excuse my French.
Yeah. But
No,
but
you're right.
but I think with so
Also,
many successful ones already setting the rules for it, like let the creator be in there and stuff. Like for example, I really like the trailer for the Fallout TV series they will make.
looks so
Really
good.
amazing. Stuff like that really has so much potential. And the Avatar season coming next year. What else do we get? I don't have anything in mind.
There's
There
going to
will
be
be
the Sonic 3
yeah.
movie. Sonic
Oh
3,
yes,
Yes.
sir. Shadow
Yeah.
Baby.
Yes.
the greatest
Um,
game of all time, getting adapted.
Zelda movie won't happen
It
until
was
2025, I guess.
Yeah, like that.
it was
I think
quite
that's
quiet
really
when you started
shocking
filming.
that Nintendo is confident enough to make a Zelda movie. They've been hesitating on that for decades. Like they've had offers many times, but
I
they're like, nope, now
I
it's
think
time.
the success of Mario speaks for itself, and it's great that they decided on making an animated live action movie. So
Mhm.
the
Also,
yeah.
I was
also,
kind of disappointed
what
it was live
happens?
action.
No, it will be animated, but with
Yeah,
actors.
it's gonna be live action, but he wants to do it in a Ghibli style.
No,
Like rotoscope?
no. The writer who got the job for making the Zelda movie wrote years before they even announced the Mario movie. Wrote on Twitter that he would want to make a movie that is completely made with actors. Like if you think about like they did the game from The Last of Us with real actors, but put it in a 3D animation in the end. And
Yeah,
he really wants
like
to do that with Zelda, and he posted this
like the
years
Polar
before Mario.
Express.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's called rotoscoping.
Ah,
It's
okay.
it's you have live
Yeah.
action, you record the live actors, and then you traditionally you draw over them, but you can also CGI over them.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me
Also,
started on rotoing. It's awful.
On what?
also like
On
there's
rotoscoping. I've had to do a fair amount of it in my time, and it's not fun.
yeah, I was gonna say like also like if you take it from a macro perspective, right? Like Mario did really well, Zelda. What comes next? Maybe Donkey Kong. Why? Because what happens with Marvel, is because ultimately it all
Yeah.
comes
Could
up to this big brawl movie, Super Smash movie, and like they'll
oh
make
god.
quadrillions and bajillions like from the Ultra combo franchise thing. Like it would be
Okay,
nuts.
but Nintendo doesn't take off the Marvel road and say, okay, we have the next 20 films planned. So I think they will take it step by step. Donkey Kong movie is already in the talks, yes, and some films will be in unavoidable, like a Metroid movie, I guess, a more mature movie from Nintendo. But Yeah,
That
Oh
would be
my god, that
fantastic.
would be
potential is
amazing,
out
man.
there. Oh, potential is out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think another likely thing they could be doing, like, let's be for real, like Breath of the Wild completely revived the Zelda series in like
Yeah.
the mainstream, so that's obviously another reason why, they're pushing that as well.
Yeah.
But I think something that also could be likely is, like you were saying, so the Donkey Kong movie you said is confirmed, or
So,
like that is happening.
Joe Rogan, is that the name from the actor from Donkey Kong?
No,
Wait,
Seth
Rogan.
what?
Rogen.
Seth Rogen. Joe
Yeah.
Rogan. Sorry.
What?
Sorry.
That would be amazing. That's unreal.
Joe Rogan is Donkey Kong. Oh my god.
He's Diddy Kong. He's Diddy Kong.
So
Um,
he said
'Cause he
he's
does that kick as well, right?
he said in an interview, what would you see in the future? And he said definitely a Donkey Kong movie, and maybe we are talking already about it. So
Oh, Seth
Okay.
Rogen.
Seth Rogen, yes.
yeah. So I was bringing that up because Nintendo World
Yeah.
in Japan, Universal, just
We'll get
bought
the Donkey Kong Land, yes.
Yeah. So that could easily be a way to help promote that as well. Because Nintendo, obviously they have the big brain. They know what's up when it comes to cross
Who are they going to use for
promotion.
Thanos? The hand or something,
Thanos,
right?
Master Hand, bro. Ganon, maybe.
Yeah, the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that would be nuts. Like, killing Ganon with it. Like,
Oh man. Also, I could see when the Sonic franchise is very good right now, and the Mario franchise is very good right now, a collab movie would be nice as well, like they did with the
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
I
for those
did
who
want to
don't,
bring up
oh, sorry.
really. I did want to bring up really quick. I'm actually very proud of what Sega has been doing over this year.
Yeah.
With not only being successful with the movies, they also did Sonic Prime, which is another adaptation, the show on Netflix.
Yeah.
They just finished the Sonic Frontiers DLC, and at the end of that, they put out this thing on Instagram. I'm fairly certain, and they talked about how this game has been so great because they felt as though this has completely revitalized the Sonic franchise in Japan, especially. Like Japan loved Sonic Frontiers, and now they just revealed the Game Awards. They're bringing back like a ton of their franchises, and they're like,
Yes, sir.
this game being so successful has allowed us to feel more confident and made us feel as though we can do other things outside of Sonic, Yakuza, and Persona, which they said has been carrying Sega for years. So they're feeling more confident, and I'm very happy that they're actually open to trying something new, which is just cool because Nintendo obviously they've been doing this for decades. They could just bring out something new, like, oh look, here's Pikmin. Now Pikmin's massive.
Yeah.
Oh, look, here's Splatoon. Splatoon is massive. Now Animal Crossing's massive. Like, so they're realizing, oh, if we build a foundation that's more than just a few things, it'll be more inherently, long lasting.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for the future of them for sure.
So to get down through all of the list again, just I want to hear your thoughts about the recent change with the live actions and how you feel about that, and maybe add one or two live actions that you want to see in the future. Starting with one that maybe already sleeping, Sun God.
Yeah, I'm right here. My bad. I was just about to say I do have to hop out right now. My
Ah.
food just got here. I'm so sorry.
No
But
problem.
if you could ask me that question one more time, I can answer it real quick before I go.
Yes. With upcoming live actions, how is your feeling about that? And with the whole thing of more and more live actions came to life, and what would be a live action that you want to see that isn't announced yet?
I'm definitely excited for it. I think it's just, fans of the media that we're all into. This is just a wonderful way for it to become a global phenomenon. Not saying that One Piece and, other IPs of the like Naruto aren't already global, but I think that this is a way for them to get into new audiences and for them to really hit mainstream, because
Yeah.
ever since the One Piece live action came out, we've seen Luffy at the Macy's parade, we've seen him, at the Rams game. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot more people that are getting into it now.
Yeah.
But I think that the next one I'm really excited for that we know is coming out is the Yu Yu Hakusho Netflix
Yeah.
live action. Yeah, I'm really really like head over heels into that. I cannot wait to tap in and see what that's about. And another IP that deserves a live action and just doesn't get enough love in general, I think is Dead Man Wonderland. I think that's, in my personal opinion, the most underrated anime I've ever seen in my life. I think that it deserves the same amount of fan base that, Attack on Titan or Tokyo Ghoul has. And a beautiful way to do that would be a live action. So if there's anybody working at Netflix that hears this, look into Dead Man Wonderland.
Nice. Do you want your last shout out before you leave?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, once again, my channel name is Job Makes Nerdies. If you're into nerdy content, please come tap in with me. I appreciate everybody in this live. It was a pleasure meeting all of you. Seriously, I look forward to working with all of you in the future. And I pray y'all have a blessed rest of the stream. I love y'all, man, for real.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you
Have a
for
good
being
one,
here.
bro.
Have a
I
good
will
one, bro.
share your
One
link
good
in
meeting
the
you.
G.
chat
Good
as
meeting you.
well. Check out his channel. And yo, let's head to Cody. What are you feeling about the live actions? And what is the live action we all need, or adaptation, of course?
I know what this is gonna be.
Cody?
How do I feel about the live action?
In live actions in general, the change of it, that we get so many adaptations right now and such.
One Piece has been the first good one I've seen in a really long time. I was really optimistic looking forward to the Cowboy Bebop one, and it just, I don't know. I'm very optimistic going forward from One Piece, but unless I see like the original creators having an actual hand within the title projects that they're working on, I don't really like trust in live actions all that much still. Sorry to be the hater.
Someone must be so. But it's not live action at it's not a live action all the time. Like you could argue that damn it, the zombie show, my god,
100.
Last of Us was already an actor based video game, so it's essentially an actor based video game turned into a TV series. Something like that is also in the realm of possibilities right now. So adaptations in general, maybe something else you want to see from video game terms into a movie or series, Cody? Or not, and we're heading into Cruiserland.
Oh, that's amazing. Radio silence. Um, you probably picked the wrong person to go after Cody because I'm probably a little bit controversial as well. So I don't know if many of you know this, but I am Japanese. So what I'm about to say isn't racist. I think Japanese people can't act.
Oof.
Oh my.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Kabuki, yo, the Final Fantasy X
Whoa.
Kabuki play that just came out is proving you wrong, brother. Ain't no way.
Okay, no.
How'd
To
you
be
get?
fair, I think what I mean to say is
That was,
Japanese.
oh yeah, let me not be racist real quick.
Japanese people kind of struggle with the emotional range that a lot of anime kind of needs. And I think it kind of falls short a lot of times in terms of the emotional side of it. Because as a nation, we're not very used to showing our emotions. Like,
I can
you know,
see
we,
that, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. You mean like facial acting?
Yeah, that too. And like, like I think whenever we're trying to be cool, it just we try to translate the anime version of it sort of shot for shot. And those
Edginess.
yeah, it just doesn't work.
Like, why are you standing in the rain, dude?
So you want a live action adaptation of Boku no Pico, okay?
What? No, so what I'm
That is something. Whoa, that's way slanderous. Where are you pulling this from?
I think what One Piece did was great. They got a lot of amazing talent from all over the world, and that worked really well for One Piece. And I'm hoping to see a lot more of that happening. The IPs that I would like to see would be shows like Neon Genesis. That would be pretty cool. I
Oh,
think.
live action Neon Genesis would go so good.
Oh
You
yeah.
right.
Yeah. But I don't think it has to be with Japanese actors. Maybe a couple in there. That's fine. But yeah.
Go
And
I
then
just
think,
like how would they handle the mechas? Like that's the only thing I see a problem with is like
Nah, they already did big mecha
Pacific
movies
Rim.
like Pacific Rim and stuff. So
Pacific Rim, yeah.
After watching Detective Pikachu and seeing all the other Pokemon in that movie, I would really be open to seeing a faithful like Digimon adaptation or a new Digimon adaptation where the Digimon come out of the digital world into 2023 or 2024 and like, whoa, what does this
You waited
mean?
for your
Also-
moment to shoot
also-
your shot and you did it. I think that's it. Like that's a sick idea. Like
also
hopefully someone does that.
I would love a live action adaptation where the fictional part of it would still be in 2D animation, like these old not Raymond Raffing Rabbits, Roger Rabbit thing,
Roger Rabbit,
where
yes.
the normal actors with the 2D. So
Like
that would
if
make
the Digi
so much
Destin had to go
it
into
would
the
make
internet,
so
they
much
turn
sense
into
with
2D.
Digimon. Yeah. So
That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
that'd be really
that's
cool. That would be
cool.
amazing.
yeah.
One
That's
thing I would
crazy.
also like to
Hire
see
this
just for
man.
my would be Ghibli franchise. I think that
Oh!
would be amazing.
Oh, Ghibli.
Ooh.
Like
Whoa,
a
that's a
whole
hot take.
series of Ghibli.
That's
Yeah.
a hot take, I guess, because
There's a couple that I was
they are
thinking
very
of.
artsy, but yeah, they could do much with it. Yes. Den
Do you mind if I drop one?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Sure.
Whoa.
My
In a bad way.
all-time favorite manga next to One Piece is Rave Master. I would love a live-action Rave Master.
Ooh.
Oh, Brave is
Um,
pretty good.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Rave Master or read it, it is like the prototype of fairy tale. Like every single character in Rave Master is just reborn in fairy tale in like another way. But Rave Master is like one of the craziest and most fun rides you will have in manga.
Brave Master on the GameCube was a really fun game as well. Shout out.
Oh, dude, you're a cultured man, I see.
The bros
Difficult.
have met. Den.
Yeah, it's what was I going to say? First one is like if I was to have one translate like adapted, I think it's called Death Paradise. It's like one series and it's about like a bar and there's two elevators and these two people like
Parade?
the elevator doors.
Death
Wait, is
Parade?
that, yeah, what's it called?
Death Parade.
Death Parade. Yeah, that's it. Death Parade. That's probably it. Yeah. To see that like in a live action would be so sick because of just all the elements involved in it and like how real you could do that because of all the lighting and stuff. If you'd seen it, then it's easier to understand like stuff like spikes flying around and stuff like that. And what was my other to add on to what I think it was Kuso was saying? I think the Oda, right? Like the author of JJK put out that thing about protagonists, like a message about protagonists. And Oda like released a message and reply like basically suck my dick. That's not how it's done. This is how it's done. And he was involved with choosing the actors, and I think it made such a difference. So we do get this like global, around the world feeling. You do capture the feeling of One Piece. So with other live action, all you need, I think, is somebody who's as insane as Oda. Which I mean, come on, everyone's like that. They're really rare, obviously. So to be able to do it right, I think is going to be very difficult for a lot of the series. Naruto, for example, I would not hold hope out for because it's just so much money involved. It's too much almost. They'll just cast in all sorts of people, I think, personally.
Yeah.
Den, have you heard about how Mr. Beast is a fan of Naruto and he'll like fork out a whole lot of money for it?
Only recently I heard. I haven't like got like looked into it, but I have heard that recently, Valina. Actually, I will look into that. After.
Imagine Mr. Beast in the live action as I don't know.
Naruto's Japanese voice actress is literally his Mr. Beast Japan YouTube channel dub voice.
Yeah. So, going into Chris.
There's a lot of live actions I'm excited for. I mean, I've been a defender of live actions. I have a whole video about it. I'm really excited for the My Hero Academia live action because I think given the MCU and DCEU, My Hero won't be something that's going to be too troubling to adapt. It'll just come down to like the actors and how much money they're willing to put into it. And adaptations I'd really like to see. Because I love this anime so much and the light novel. I would love to see a Konosuba live action. I think that would be absolutely hilarious. And I know they're working on an Attack on Titan one. And for me, Attack on Titan is my favorite series of all time. So I'm
Mm.
praying that they can do that right. But
I think there is already
with
an Attack on Titan.
yeah, there are two of them that was made in Japan, and they
Oh.
they
Go on.
yeah, I wish they didn't exist. So I'm hoping that the new live action can just wipe that from people's memories, and we get like true cinema with the next live action AOT movie. But My Hero, I think it's going to be like a decent movie at best. I mean, with how superheroes are, I don't think they could fail doing the My Hero live action. But Konosuba would be a challenge, but I think it would be really funny if they pulled it off.
Yeah. Noah.
Um, I don't know. I'm selfish. I like the idea of adaptations that I could be a part of. So, Spy family.
Yeah.
I would
Oh,
I would
yeah.
totally
Well,
try to
yeah.
be Lloyd's double. I would do that. No, in all seriousness, I think that would be a far more reasonably done one if they just capture the essence of it. But I there's in terms of ones coming out, I'm excited for uh what'd you say was coming out on the 15th? Because I never watched the anime.
Yu
What's
Yu
coming out on
Yu
the
Hakusho.
Hakusho? Yeah, I want to watch that, and then I'll watch the. I'll have to watch the anime afterwards. But I love the impact that uh that One Piece had because
Yeah.
it got my dad to watch multiple.
Yeah.
he
That's awesome.
he started Bebop and watched Death Note because of that. So I'm excited to see what these can do if they're done well. That's
Hot
really what I'm
take:
looking forward to.
Netflix's Cowboy Bebop wasn't that bad.
The ending was so cringe that many people.
The ending was terrible because they had the actress go for. She just tried to play an anime character in real life, but I think
Yeah.
disregarding the last scene, majority of the Bebop show, whether it was faithful or not, was still a pretty entertaining show. I never watched the anime before the live action, so as a new viewer, I really enjoyed the live action for the Bebop show on Netflix. And Death Note was bad, but it was at least funny bad.
Yeah.
I'll buy that it was
I
entertaining,
actually
but
really liked Lakeith Stanfield as L. I actually really liked him. He surprised me because I thought he would be terrible, obviously, but he wasn't that bad.
Willem Dafoe as Ryuk too was great.
He was amazing as Ryuk. He was
Let's
amazing.
let's keep on with Kev.
For me, I feel like this is a show that not many people know about, but it's a show that is very, very near to my heart because I'm gonna be honest. Almost every single show you guys have listed, I have no idea what that is. Like, as much as I have, One Piece brain rot, I don't know like anything. like, earlier we were talking about like Naruto and Bleach, and like I've never read them and never watched them because I just, I'm very selective, I guess, in a way where it's like, I don't know, I have to feel it to like really get into it, and I don't know, I guess I'm very specific in that way. Where I haven't, like for example, like Full Metal Alchemist. That's another thing I've never seen that a lot of people have seen, but somehow I can watch like garbage, but if it hits, it hits. Um, and for me, a show that it's not garbage, but for me, a show that is really cool and really good and could be amazing in live action is called Michiko and Hachin. It's this story about this older woman and a girl she has to take care of, traveling through South America to find the girl's dad and her like lover. I think the story is just it's super simple. It's like an adventure story through South America, two people on a journey on a motorcycle, and it's cool. It could be like an episodic thing. They could change the story even if they wanted, but the vibes have to be there because it's super realistic. It's
Looks
nothing
really
really
good.
crazy at all. So I think that could work really well.
Yeah. Totally agree. Ricky.
For me, I'm like a huge fan of Yu Yu Hakusho, so I think that all the character designs for the live action look really good, and I'm pretty much really ready for that one. As far as other live actions go outside of Rave Master, I genuinely don't know because certain animes kind of like border into just, entirely special effects dependent. Like One Piece, there's a lot you can do without special effects. We saw, like for example, Nami fighting some Marines, but like if you were to go for like Jujutsu Kaisen, for example, that's going to be wild as hell. And I feel like a lot of live action potential would be stymied because of that. Because, anime is very good as fictional 2D media, and it would be very hard for a lot of animes to cut it into live action. Like I'm excited to see where Yu Yu Hakusho goes because Yu Yu Hakusho also borders that like, you know, we're beating each other's asses, but my friend to my right might conjure a flame sword, and my other friend is a demon prince. So that, we'll have to see how it goes, but I'm really excited for that one. And that one would probably set the tone for future ones.
Yeah. I personally would like these older animes ported into live actions. Like, imagine Beyblade, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Shaman King as live action. This would
That would be
be so hilarious.
I live the live action Beyblade.
Yu-Gi-Oh live action would be so
Let 'em rip.
easy.
Yeah, exactly.
So easy.
Oh, actually,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
you reminded me of something earlier. One thing that I would need most live actions to do going forward, which it already shows Yu Yu Hakusho doesn't seem to be shying away from like blood and having the main character suffer. The One Piece live action in the first season, Luffy kind of low diffed all three villains, and like that's not a problem. But you go back to the anime manga version of his fight with Arlong, he hardly won that fight.
Yeah.
And he absolutely shit on Arlong in the live action, which I just
But
like he didn't even get touched. Captain Kuro, he scraped Luffy once, and then Luffy literally took a big fat dump all over him. And I'm gonna need a little bit of Luffy beatdown in season 2.
yeah, but I really
Obviously
think,
certain.
but I really think they nailed down that Luffy is not as strong yet, and he will be he will be surprised which enemies are ahead of him, and they really make you show that he couldn't even beat Arlong, but he just got tricked Arlong into beating him essentially. So I really think they by not showing something, they doing something in the terms of, okay, they're setting up that Luffy gets really hard pushed back with Crocodile and such.
Fair.
So yeah, it looks off in the first season, but it will impact even more in the second, I guess.
I know what you mean though. I want to see him getting wrecked, like dragged around the floor.
Yeah,
like
totally.
Game of
With
Thrones
the
sort of levels
with
of getting
the hook
slapped about.
scene where we just see black and white. Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Also, there's an Akira movie coming up, and I really am excited for this because this is totally doable. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I don't want to get too hopeful, but I hope that inspires some other stuff. I would ideally love a sort of toned down dessert. Like, yeah, you can go all out with that stuff, but it's just too much, man. I don't want to, like, there's no need to show certain stuff in Berserk, but like,
True.
if
Game of Thrones does
Eclipse.
exist though.
And
Yeah.
where's
Oh yeah. Good point. Good point,
it's
Kev.
funny.
and where's the Fortnite movie yet?
Oh.
Yeah, the
Let's go,
Minecraft movie's
Fortnite
coming.
movie!
The Minecraft movie's
Yeah.
coming.
Fortnite. Oh man.
Now we need a Dark Souls movie.
Yeah,
dialogue
hell
whatsoever.
yeah.
That's
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm
totally,
talking about, like.
totally.
It's not even a movie, it's just one dude dying over and over again.
Yeah, there's no dialogue except for Solaire telling you like to praise the sun, and then everything else is just shit and pain and struggle.
Flashes of your inventory that you got to like work out the lore from that.
Can you
So-
imagine, like in the movie, they pick up a sword and start reading off of it, like just like, oh, here's an item text.
It would be funny if throughout the movie he dies like 100 times or something like that.
Yeah, it's like John Wick, but with like consistent death, like of the main character rather than the enemy.
Oh man. Okay, that's the highest point we can get with the stream, I guess. John Wick with thing. Nice. Yeah, I think we wrap it up here to keep it as a nice time. Thank you all for being here. We're going through all of you again, so you have time to shout out again. And yeah, we will do this more often now, every 2 weeks at least. And the last one will be in I think we have a date yet. On the 18th of December. There will be fewer guests in there, but I will have Joyboy in there, so that's a special one for me. Other than that, we will do plenty more next year, and all of you will be coming back for sure. And yeah, thank you for being here, and let's try to get through all of you. And you have time for shout out, Dan. Thank you.
Hello. Make sure you check out Desnes' channel, even though you're already subbed, and check out his Discord. Check out my channel, which is Den Cushy on YouTube, and The Last Arc. And The Last Arc Live, you can jump in our Discord as well. It's been an absolute super duper uber pleasure to chill and spit and cook with everybody. Particularly, as I say, it's not people that I'm always on stream with, so that's really nice. Desnes, obviously, we go back for ages, but everyone else, thank you for being so like nice and kind, and yeah, you guys have been great. And the live action, this was good timing, I think, because like the hype needs to start going again.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say is like dude, people should try achieve their dreams, because like the One Piece is now a live action, and Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be Kureha.
Yeah.
Which is like absurd. If you know One Piece, that's absurd. Oda, yeah, exactly. Oda is some sort of wizard or something. So yeah, that's me done. But thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you
living the best timeline right now, right?
Yeah, literally.
Kev.
Yeah, I'm gonna mirror a bunch of the words Den said, but appreciate you for having us on. You know, it was always a great time to talk about peak fiction. That's just how it is. And I just want to say, of course, Desnes, you're almost at 50K, bro. We got to get you 50K.
Yeah.
You could get it by the end of the year. You easily could.
I still
So
can't
think
wrap my
that'd
head
be-
around that big number. Really, it's
just
wild.
get on just the
Congrats.
shorts grind set, bro. That's nothing. Just maybe one short, it's over. But of course, yeah, thank you for inviting us, like I said. And I did want to shout out something that I'm going to be doing.
Yeah,
at the end of the
for
week, I'm going
sure.
to be doing I'm going to be doing a charity stream. You all are obviously, welcome to hop on if you would like, because I'm trying to make it as chill as possible. Get raise money for a good cause, which are kids in need at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. For the holiday season.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Next Friday, yes.
No, it'll be this Friday.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
15th.
Yeah.
The 15th. Yeah.
And maybe you drop your Discord link in the chat as well, so people can join in for that.
Oh sure, yeah. Let me do that.
Perfect. Nice. Yeah, we see us on Friday for all of you on Kev's channel for sure. So, Ricky.
I would say thanks for having me on, man. You know, you're one of the nicest guys I know. You definitely deserve to get to 50K. It's been an absolute blast meeting all of you guys, and some of you guys I already know, some of you guys I'm huge fans of, and I'm just really happy to get it to talk about the One Piece live action and just nerd stuff in general. You guys all rock.
Yeah, thanks again for Sun God being here, and for Lucas, of course, that are hopped off already. Noah.
Yeah, like everyone else, I wanted to say thank you for bringing me on. It's been great meeting everyone on this stream. I can't wait to work with you guys more in the future. Hopefully we'll get my dad on here at some point, maybe to get the newbie perspective.
Yeah, I will invite my brother who gets new into One Piece. We get Haley. We get any of your grandmothers and grandfathers who wants to speak in the stream as well in here. And yeah.
Definitely more people need to subscribe to Desnes, because you're bringing a lot of people together and making some awesome content. So give him a button push.
That's what all One Piece is about, I guess.
Press this button.
Cody.
Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? This has been Desnes the Dwarf, and if you don't see that like button hit, you need to go and smash that like button. And you need to go hit that subscribe button and click the bell notification so you can see the next OPLA live action banquet. Because these have been some of the best streams I've ever been a part of, and Desnes is one of the best hosts that's ever existed in the space of this universe. He should be patting himself on the back a million full times, but he doesn't have a million hands. So I'll do it with my like infinite power and wisdom. And I'll say, Desnes, I love you with every fiber of being of my soul. Thank you so much for having me on here. I hope you have a wonderful night.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I'm glad you didn't go first.
Oh. Chris, can you keep up with this, Chris? Sorry.
Nah, see, I don't know why you would do that to me. That's so. I can't one up that, but I mean, wow. Sucks that I'm last, but just to again, what everyone else says, thank you so much for having me on here. It's been great to come on these past couple streams and share the love for the One Piece live action and just One Piece and anime and manga in general. It's been a lot of fun, and you guys can check me out again on YouTube, Power Hunter Chris, talk all about anime. Get my boy here to 50K. He's so close, and yeah, just thank you for having me.
Thank you. Oh my god, you're also sweet. And Kusorando!
Yeah, so this is my first stream, so thank you so much for having me, Diz, and everyone else. Just like on behalf of all the little guys out there, thank you so much for raising the community. Like, I've honestly only just started YouTubing, like, I don't know, less than a month ago, and you've just like, you've already invited me to the stream, and you've just been super nice the whole time. It's been amazing. Um, it's also kind of like a dream come true, I guess, for me as well, because I've
Oh.
been a fan of One Piece for like 20 years, and I've never had anyone around me that sort of talks about One Piece. So just being in here with you guys in this space and just talking about shit that I like to talk about. Oh, sorry about cursing. It's been a blast. Yeah. So thank you. Also,
It's a
before we
live
forget,
sentence, dude.
before we forget, Desnes, I was meant to remind you about your art competition.
Yes! Oh my god, yes, of course. Yeah, I'm doing an art competition right now. Maybe I should have said that in the beginning when everybody's here. But essentially, we all can agree that if someone wants to be recognized as a man or a woman, we all say, okay, let's forget all pictures and pronouns. Everybody can be what they want and stuff. But always in the community, people use these old ass photos from Oda, and he definitely wants to be only shown as his avatar. So let's collectively agree to only use his avatar. And for reminding that, I made that video, and I encourage all of you to take part of the competition. Essentially, draw Oda, and you win a prize in the end if you're lucky. So, and we keep all the Oda pictures in one place, so you can use all the drawings of Oda's fish avatar and using them instead of his old ass pictures. Yes. So, yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. And for Kuzoland especially, you started big, and that's why you are here right now. So you really did a great job with that one video, and you convinced me big on you. So yeah.
Oh, thank you so much.
And
Appreciate it.
ahead of it all, I may be having in plans something with Kuzoland, so all of you can look up for it. And yeah, very excited, very hyped stream today. Thank you for everybody who was here, and yeah, thank you for watching. I will give you the outro, and bye bye. Let's set sail.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you all.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.